This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic, a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man. That is the responsibility of the man. All right, so we're clear. Again, we're talking about a woman teaching a boy to be a man, not a woman raising a boy to be a man. I think there is a bit of a distinction because raising involves more than just teaching. Raising involves nurturing, helping them with their growth, providing them shelter, food, and things of that nature. Teaching is when you're passing down instructions, for the behavior and stuff like that. All right, so now that that's clear, let's get to it. Let's go to the ladies first. And as more ladies,
well, I think you should go to the men first, since this is a subject about men.
Well,
right, tell them,
let's be clear about this. I think this is gonna be a sensitive topic for some women, especially when we start getting into the different aspects of this conversation. And the reason why I want to go to the women first, because I already know how the men, I have an idea of how the men feel. This is what we're talking about. We already starting. Y'all telling me basically we should go to the men first, because you're already getting ready to get your defense ready.
No, it's not a defense. I'm just talking about, I would like to hear from the men what they think about what being a man is, before you can say to a woman that we already know we can't raise a boy to be a man.
Okay, so
we already know that. I would just like to know what they think, what you men think the characteristics of a real man is.
Patsy, are you in agreement with this?
Yeah, that's fine by me. How about you, Maria?
She gotta take her phone off of mute.
Huh.
All right, we'll go to the guys first. All right, let's go to Bird. Bird, do you think a woman can raise a boy?
I'm sorry, I'm here.
All right, Maria, we're gonna go to the guys first, and then we're gonna come back to all the ladies.
There's only 3 women on here, but go to the guys first.
We're gonna go to the men first because your peers said they wanted to hear from the guys, get their point of view first.
All right.
All right, so what I need everybody to do is, even though you have your phones on mute, the people that are not talking, I need you to be paying attention because I can call on you at any time. Bird, we're gonna go to you first. Do you think a woman can raise a boy? Excuse me. I'm getting caught up into some people's way of thinking already. Do you believe that a woman can teach a boy to be a man?
No, absolutely not.
Reason being?
Because if you're not a man, you don't know what it is to be a man. You have an ideology of a man based on your belief of what a man should be, but it's not the theory of a man. It's your belief as a man. So I don't believe that they can teach a boy to be a man. Just like I can't, watching a video, I can't teach a woman how to be a woman because I'm not a woman. I can try to raise her to be a certain way, but me to actually be able to teach you something, I need to know what that is, and I don't know what a woman is. So no.
All right. Clear and concise, right to the point. All right, let's go to Timmy. Timmy, do you believe that a woman can teach a boy to be a man?
Well, I don't know, cause you know I've seen some strong women that raise boys,
See, let me stop you
and
right there. Let me stop you right there. I was clear
I
about it.
mean
I'm not talking about the ability to
raise.
raise
I
them.
mean, but I also saw them teach things that because they was head of the household, they had no choice but to play that role as as best they could.
Hmm. Okay, stand on that. We'll come back to that. Gregory, do you believe that a woman can teach a boy to be a man? Teach a boy how to be a man? All right, guys. I'm
Gregory's on pause.
again. I'm gonna say this to you. You need to be in tune because I can come to you anytime. And I don't want nobody to feel slighted, feeling like you're getting passed by because you didn't get a chance to answer the question because you're not paying attention. All right, we're gonna go to Robert next. Robert, do you believe that a woman can teach a boy to be a man?
I believe that a woman from her personal experience with her father, a grandfather, a brother, a cousin, even a friend to the family can teach her son the qualities of being a man. She might not be able to teach him the whole overall things that a man might be able to teach, but she definitely can teach him, you know, how to act and be a man by, experience. So like I said, the qualities of being a man. I'm not saying it can't be done because like Tim said, there's single parents, and that woman had raised many young boys into becoming good men.
Yeah, we're gonna hear that a lot tonight. That's gonna be y'all's argument. But like I said, stand on that. We're gonna come back that. Do we have any other men? I want to make sure we get all the men. I know Sean said that he's
Yeah,
a
get Gregory.
bit under the weather.
Gene is in
He's
the
going to.
yeah.
Sean said
Gene is in the house.
Sean
Oh
said
shoot.
he's a bit under the weather and he's gonna
Well,
tune
he ain't
all you.
coming. He ain't coming.
All right. So is there any other guys on the panel that didn't get a chance to answer?
Only Gregory.
Gregory, are you back with us?
Yup, I had a
Yeah.
little accident in the kitchen, man.
All right. Um, so again, do you believe that a woman can teach a boy to be a man?
I agree a little bit with Birdie and Uncle Rob. I believe she can teach him qualities and stuff, but it's always a hands-on learning thing with boys sometimes. So you would want to see a male or get some type of thought of what you think a male should be from a male around you.
All right. Ladies, y'all ready? Let's go to ladies. We're gonna go to Maria. You with us?
Yeah.
Nah, she's
All right, Maria. Same question. Do you think that a woman can teach a boy how to be a man?
To a certain extent.
Okay.
She's gonna teach him how to be a man enough to treat a woman the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Show him some good qualities of life, but only to a certain extent, because there's just some things that we can't teach a man.
Teach a boy.
teach a boy to be a man.
Mm-hmm. All right, stand on that. All right, Patsy, same question. Do you think that a woman can teach a boy how to be a man?
Not fully. So I'm gonna piggyback on Maria and Robert because to an extent we can teach them good qualities and teach them, how women want to be treated and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and certain qualities like that a man like, but you need that experience from a man and that demonstration from other men around their boy, to really kind of like let them see what a man actually acts like and talks like, and just that whole character of what a true man is.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Tanya. Same question, Tanya. Do you believe that a woman can teach a boy how to be a man?
I'm going to agree with everyone that said something on this panel, and I'm going to add that a woman can teach a boy how to, as Maria said, treat a woman, how to be a father based on their experience with their own fathers, good or bad. Good is that you carry on the tradition. Bad is that you teach them to do something different of what you wanted your father to do. The thing that we can't teach them is how to navigate this world as a man, as the way society see.
Ooh. That's nice. That's nice. I like the way you put that. All right. Kiana,
Gina.
you with us?
No, Gina's with us.
Gina?
Yanni.
Yes, I agree with Tanya and pretty much everybody that said. Um, I think you can teach. I can teach my son how to, treat a woman, how to, take care of a woman. What's the, that type of stuff. But as far as in detail, what Tanya said, what society portrays a man, I don't think women can do that. It has to be hands-on from a man.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Did I get everybody? Sean, are you with us? No, I think Sean tuned in.
Nah, Sean ain't with her.
All right. So let me actually, I'm gonna go back to the women. So Gina, I'm gonna stay with you. When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
When I look in the mirror, what do I see?
Yeah, what do you see looking back at you?
A beautiful Black woman.
Stay there. Patsy, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
A beautiful, strong, independent, caring woman.
Okay, stay there. Tanya, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
On mute.
Tanya?
She ain't near the phone.
All right, I'll come back to Tanya. Maria, when you
No,
look.
I have my mic muted. I'm sorry, I didn't want y'all to hear my spoon clinking my plate.
All right.
You can go to Maria and come back.
No, I'm saying it's just simple answer.
Maria ain't on. She tapped out.
Tanya.
She's not with us right now.
Tanya,
Yes, I am.
when you look into the mirror, what do you see?
I said a beautiful, Black, strong, God-fearing woman, independent woman.
All right, stay there.
Well, not so much now. I have my helpmeet now,
No. Stand on what you said. Maria, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
A beautiful, strong, independent woman.
All right. So again, I want you guys to understand this a little quick fact. So, your gender is what you was born into the world as. So that's your gender is female, right? All you ladies
Yeah.
on the panel, you're all female.
Yes.
You was born female.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. So, woman is something that you strive to be. That's what you that's the next level. That's what you want to get to. And I noticed all y'all said that y'all put that in, and most of y'all, if not all of y'all, said woman. Am I correct in saying that?
Mhm.
Right.
All right. As a girl, now let me ask you, when you was a little girl, I'm gonna get back to you guys. There's a method to my madness. You guys was when you was little, who did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be like my mother.
Okay, stop right there. Tanya, when you was little, who did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be like my grandmother.
Okay, stop right there. Patsy, who did you want to be when you grew up?
Like my mother and my great grandmother.
Okay. Gina, who did you want to be like when you grew up?
My mother and my grandmother.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna come back to you now. Bird, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I see strength and leadership.
Mm-hmm. That's all you see?
I see more.
So go on, give us more.
I see. I mean, we don't got all day. I mean, you want me to unload the chamber in here?
I
There's a lot.
I want you to, yeah, I want you to tell me what you see when you look in the mirror. You got the floor. We got time.
I see strength, perseverance, determination, power, knowledge.
Loyalty.
I'm not loyal. Sorry. Not in a bad way. I could be
I was
loyal to
speaking
those that
out loud. I was speaking out loud for myself. I'm sorry.
might be, but I see many characteristics. I see many choices. I see many life changes. I see, I'm learning. I'm a teacher. I'm a preacher. I'm a student. I'm a little bit of everything you can imagine is me, all rolled up into one big handsome person.
What's the gender? What's the gender you that you see reflecting in the mirror?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a woman. I mean, let's keep it real. But I don't just see a man in the mirror.
But
I
what's
see,
your what's
I don't
your
see. I don't really try to see gender. I mean, I don't look at people as a race, as a gender, as a color, as a. I see a person.
all right, but what was you born as, male or female?
Female, David. And that's too much.
I don't want to assume anything. Y'all gotta go with it. Trust me.
Well, I am non-binary. I do not refer to myself as he, him. I refer to myself as them or they. I'm
I
non-binary.
I stand on
Ain't
that.
no way. It ain't no way.
No,
Bro.
stop. We're not doing that. Stand
I'm
on that.
non-binary. Respect my choice of
Yeah,
culture, please.
just stand
Exactly.
on that. You'll get your
Gotta
chance.
love yourself.
Timmy, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Well, I definitely see there's no one in the world quite like me. God damn it, I'm so pretty.
That's it?
That's it.
Was you born a male or a female?
Yeah, I was born male.
Okay. Gregory, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
My affirmations. I'm a strong, ambitious, black creator.
That's it?
That's it.
Was you born female or male?
Oh yeah, that part. I'm a male.
I think that's a very important part of the question.
Right?
Let's go to Robert. Robert, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see a boss. I see a strong, confident man. To answer that other part of your question, I know I have other good traits, but I don't want to come off conceited. So I'm going to say this. This question that you're asking us men and women is a setup to prove one point. Because we're going to say we see a man and they're going to say they see a female. You're going to say that's my point. And so how do you expect them to be able to raise this daggone boy into a man? It's going to lead that way. But go on.
Tell him, Bobbert.
Whoa, Clearwaters, whoa.
Is there any other? Did all the women get a chance to answer the question? Did all the men get a chance to answer the question?
Yep.
You got
Everybody
Mr. Edwards that's on the phone.
What about you, David?
Everyone call and I see Mr. Sean Edwards, a son,
Yep.
brother, father, and uncle.
So Sean said he sees himself as a father, brother, and uncle. That's what he sees. Sean, do you see yourself as a man? Was you born? What was your gender when you was born? Okay, so I know he's
I'm wondering what the hell you asked that
texting in
for.
his answer, but he's not answering that question. So, all right.
From Sean Edwards.
Oh, here it goes.
Everyone call and mail. I figured that what I was saying.
All right, we got you. I just wanted to hear you say it because some people said they're non-binary, so I wanna hear people say what they are. All right. So again, women, gentlemen.
Oh, Kiana's in too.
Oh, Duchess, thank you for joining us. Right on time. I was about to go on to the next question. So,
You gonna pass your damn computer
when
virus along.
when you look in the mirror, what do you? Well, first let me catch you up. Do you think that a woman can raise a boy to be a man?
Not exactly. I mean, I think that you should have male role models in their lives so that they can teach them things, but you could teach them like how not to be a particular type of male. But no, you can't. I don't think a single female can teach a man how to be a man because there's certain things that you just don't know.
Okay. And when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see my mother, I see my father, I see my son, I see a woman who is aging but gracefully strong. Person who doesn't take no shit.
Well, I knew that was coming. And what was
Right.
what was your born gender?
Female,
Okay.
woman, all the way.
All right. So my reason Robert is somewhat correct in what he was saying. But he has the innate ability to go ahead.
Figure it out.
No, it wasn't
Figure it
about
out.
figuring it
Use his
figure it
brain.
out. He likes to cut the line. So what I was going to say is, so for all the women in the world that feel like they can teach a boy to be a man, how can you teach a boy to be something that you're not? You are not a reflection of manhood. That's not who you are. So how could you raise a child, a boy child, a male child, to be a man when that is not who you are? That's why I want to be clear about your gender and what you see when you look in the mirror. And now that we got that clear, let's get down to it. All right, Gregory, you with us?
Yep, Gregory's here.
Timmy, I need the individual that I asked the question to answer, please. Gregory, can you show the first video, please?
See, Davido.
Mm-hmm.
Zoom meeting.
Can a single mom teach her son how to be a man?
No. Now, before you get triggered, let me say that I think that single moms do the best that they can. But let me also put it to you this way. Can a single dad teach a little girl how to be a woman? I think the answer to that also is no. Because as a single dad, I don't know what it's like to be a woman. My daughter needs to be around her mom, and I'm happy to let her do that. Single moms have no idea what it's like to be a man, so they can't possibly teach their sons how to be men. It's just a fact.
So, ladies, let me ask you this question. When you hear men say, and you hear me, I say it often, a woman can't teach a boy to be a man. Does that offend you? Do you feel slighted, Gina?
No, I don't feel slighted because I feel that most of it is, I think 80% is true.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to leave my neighbor. They were going through a crisis.
Don't worry,
I had to
darling.
call the police.
You're right on. You're right on time. You're
Okay.
there to answer the question.
All right.
Kiana, same thing. When you hear men say that a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man, does it offend you? Do you feel slighted?
No, I don't feel slighted. I mean, again, I believe that that's partially true.
Okay. Patsy?
No, I don't feel slighted about it. That's why I had answered you can teach them different qualities, but you can't really teach them the behavior, the thinking of what a man is and everything, and what goes through a man's head to what they think.
Okay. Tanya?
No, I don't feel slighted.
Okay. Maria?
No.
All right. So if y'all don't feel slighted, then tell me this. How come every time these type of discussions come up, the first thing people say is, well, single mothers have to be mom and dad all the time? Why is that people's perspective, like their first answer to when you start talking about when you make that statement that a woman can't teach a boy to be a man? Why do women that's their first line of defense, so to speak? Go ahead, Maria.
Well, if that's the only choice the women have is to be the mother and the father, that's the only reason why that statement would be made. If she has to step up to the plate and show her son how to be a man because there's not a man available to show him how to be a man, she's doing the best she can do.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that. Gina, same thing.
Oh, this one is right here. Okay, hold on. I feel like when that statement is made, it's more so they just have to take on more than what's not expected, but they have to take on 100% more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like since I am a single mother, I have to take on more than I'm exhausted every single day, you know? So when I don't never say I gotta take on a mom and dad role. I just think I have to be a mom times a million more.
I like that perspective. I like that mindset. I like that ideology. Because see, you're not choosing to say that you're a man in a sense.
Right. Absolutely not.
I like that. I like that.
But Dave,
Hold on, Timmy.
like,
Hold on. Promise, I'm coming to you. Patsy, same question.
I think it's mainly because you have to take on the role and encourage, you know, the both genders, like whether you got boys and girls or whatever, or even just on the boys, like you got to encourage them to be getting into sports and to that determination, to keep striving to be a better person, a better man, and stuff, so just trying to encourage the boy, like if they had that father figure, that father would be like, okay, you get out there, you keep playing, you play the best. That's where that terminology comes in, that you're taking on both the roles of a man and a woman, so you're playing both roles, so that way you can really try to get 100% of that boy getting out there and not giving up, so yeah.
Okay. Tanya, same question. Why do most women, when you talk about when men say that a woman can't teach a boy to be a man, why do they say single mothers have to be mom and dad? Why is there that?
Well, I think it's more so of taking on the characteristics of trying to, when it comes to the aspect, the man is supposed to be the provider and the protector.
Mm-hmm.
And so the single parent is taking on that role as provider and protector as well as nurturer. And I think it's just filling in the absence of the characteristics of what a man is supposed to teach his son, that he's not there.
Okay.
Like I found programs, I put my sons in programs to help them, like Big Brother or the WEB, the Boys Academy, where there was a lot of men that ran the project, that in leadership, a lot of Black men that was in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's more so of the characteristics.
Okay. Maria, Kiana, same question.
Which one, Maria or me?
You.
You.
I think I already asked Maria.
Oh,
He did.
I think it's when that other parent, especially the father, isn't there, and the mother has to step up and do everything. There is no break. There is no, well, he'll teach him that or her that. I would have to do everything. So I think that's where that phrase would come in.
Okay. Timmy, as promised, we'll go to you first. So you was going to respond to something that Gina was saying, but I want you to answer that question as well. Why do you think that's women's ideology when it comes when confronted with that statement that
again, what I was going to say to Gina is that and to the women on the panel, every woman on this panel must have their father. Excuse me, Gina, I'm sorry for saying that to you there, but you had a father figure. But those who have, fathers there, the things that their father didn't do and wasn't there, then they definitely going to say to their son, that is not the way you should be. That's not the way a man's supposed to be, right? And to your question, it goes back to society when the men left the women and they had to go on welfare, and they said that they couldn't find a father. So the women that were on welfare was the head of the household, right? So because the man wasn't there unless they had other men, but the father wasn't there. So now the mothers who are doing it by themselves, they have the right to say that. Just like a father who raised their kids, his daughters or sons by themselves, have the right to say that I'm playing the role as mother and father.
I don't think there's that many men that would be claiming that they are both a man and a woman. That
No, I'm talking about playing the role, not playing. I'm talking about playing mother role, the role that the mother's supposed to be playing, but she's not there, and the father has to do like the woman has to do, play the role as the father, because he ain't there.
And again, the operative word that you're using, I mean, and I'm just responding to what you're saying. So you're saying they're playing a role. That's part of the problem, because that's all people are doing. They're playing dress up, or they're standing. They're not. Those are serious positions that you're assigned when
They're acting roles. They're acting roles.
Those are
That's
gender.
what they are, acting roles.
Yeah.
I think what Timmy's really trying to say is like that a man would play like a nurturing role, not to say like he's a woman, but that nurturing factor that normally a woman would implement in raising any children, and whether male or female, is that nurturing factor that a woman would actually would put in. Is that I think that's what Timmy's really trying to say, and he's just not like putting the word correctly.
I don't think you'll ever hear men say, "I'm mom and dad."
That's what I just said. So Gregory, let's go to you. So again, why do you think women, that's their first line of defense when you say that a woman cannot teach a boy to be a man, that they say that single women have to be both mom and dad?
I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but I think I talked about this before in one of our previous episodes. It's designed to be that way. Like even Uncle T just talking about the father not being in the house so she can collect the welfare, and it's all designed to be that way for some reason to keep us dependent.
Okay. Bird, same question.
What was the question?
So why is it that when a man says to women, or other men and women are present, that a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man, and their first line of defense is for single women, single mothers have to be both mom and dad?
I don't know. Maybe I'm a little lost with the question. I guess it sounds like a 2 or 3 part question from me. So I don't know how to answer it all at once.
Just answer it as what you believe the answer is.
I mean, many women have had to play a dual role, I believe. But again, I don't think you're playing the role as mother and father to be the teacher. You may be the disciplinarian and the nurturer at the same time, and you may be a provider and protector at the same time, because there isn't a male figure in the home to do that. So I don't know if I can say you're playing mother and father, but you're playing a dual role as far as being the protector, provider, nurturer, caregiver, and all of the other attributes that apply.
Okay, hold tight. Sean, why do you believe that that's women's first line of defense when someone states to them that you can't teach a boy how to be a man?
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna try to talk because this typing ain't gonna work for me.
All right.
I believe that I'm sorry, repeat that the last part of the question again.
So I'll repeat the whole thing for you. Most of the time when women why is it that women's first line of defense when stated that a woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man, they say that, well, single women have to be both mom and dad?
Well, I don't know why they say that, but for me, I'm against that statement, whether it's male or female, because at the end of the day, I look at the individual as you're a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and being a parent, your job consists of doing all of those things that's going to have a betterment in your child's life,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that role may be. Um, I'll take it a little step further for me as a believer and a follower of Christ. For those of us who feel, that has conformed ourselves to society's definition of what a male is and what a female is, as far as, a woman is all nurturing and this, that, and the other. Yeah, I believe all of that, but as a follower of Christ, and we're made in his image, we all have those traits of both genders, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to perform those duties, if you're a parent and you love your children and you want the best for them, you're going to do whatever it is that it takes to make sure that they succeed in whatever it is that they're doing and how you're bringing them up.
Mm-hmm. Robert, same question.
Yeah, pause.
Well, how do I answer this question? Because I am a perfect living example. So when you say ladies make the statement that how should I put it? Because they have to play both roles, take the father's responsibility on as well as still do their motherly duties. Well, fortunately, I have sat and lived with both of my children, and I can honestly tell you how it is to feel like doing it from both sides, the mom's side and the father's side. So I don't get offended, and I'm not bothered when they say that. Because like I said, I did double duty, and I did it because
I
I
did
wanted
too.
to do it. I wanted to do it. It wasn't
I
that
loved it.
I was forced. I was running away from it. Give me that responsibility. I take it on. I loved it. That's just
Bring
how it
it
is. I
on.
don't know if I answer your question for the
No.
women, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't take no offense, to if they say it or not, because, I give them all the respect in the world when they have to do
Exactly. It's about them.
two parts, because it took two to make that child, and when they're doing double the duty, I can respect that.
All right, so
My hat
let's
off.
stay right there. So Sean touched base on something that I was going to bring up, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. Today's society is fond of scrapping the old ways, of putting them out to pasture. They say we're no longer a society of traditional gender roles. Do you agree or disagree with that? Patsy?
Um, I I tend to disagree, I guess. But like it's like how you perceive what your gender roles are, and what you learned, the different traits of like what each role is, So it's like each his own perception.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Let me ask. Thank you, Patsy. Tanya, you with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that we live in a time where they have discarded traditional gender roles?
traditional. So when you say traditional, oh, I'm gonna say yes, because traditionally, according biblically, like I said before, that the man is supposed to be the protector and the provider of the house, and the woman's role is to be the nurturer. So it's blurred lines now.
Maria, you with us?
Blurred line.
Maria?
Yeah.
All right, so same thing. Do you believe that we live during a time where society has basically discarded traditional gender roles, where they say men are providers and protectors, and women are nurturers and natural caregivers?
I don't want to say we discarded them. I think that sometimes that's just the way the ball drops for some people. So traditional's out the door.
Okay, I like that. I like the way you said that. Gina, you with us?
Yeah, I agree with Maria. I feel like yes and no. Um, some people just don't have a choice. But I think nowadays men want to be more taken care of, and they want their partner to have, like, if not the same or more than them. They men these days are looking to be in their soft boy era. They want to be take it out. They want to be, they don't want to just pay the bills and go to work. They want to be the girl in some way.
Uh-oh. Those sound like fighting words. Oh, stand on that. We coming back. We coming back. All right, Kiana, same question.
Can you repeat the question?
So do you believe that we live in a time where society has basically discarded traditional gender roles, and whereas men are supposed to be providers, protectors, leaders, and women are supposed to be nurturers, natural caregivers?
I don't want to say that they are disregarded. I think more people are taking on different roles. You take on a role that is supportive of your family in that time. So if you're more of a cooker and she can't cook, well, damn it, you should cook. So I mean, I think the traditional roles are not completely reversed. I just think they're open for interpretation for whatever that family needs. So that's not what traditionally has been. So again, I won't say it's discarded. I just think that it's being reevaluated for the needs of each family.
Ooh, see, y'all know, stand on that, because I'm coming back to that. Trust me. Brimage, same question. Do you believe that we live in a time where society has discarded traditional gender roles?
I don't even think that it got anything to do with time. I just think that if you was a family and you guys was all as one, I don't care who cooks or clean. If you did it together, or whoever, like Kiana said, did it well, then you do that job. You basically, when you say you get in where you fit in, then you do what you need to do where you feel comfortable the most, that it's gonna be beneficial to your family or your spouse.
All right, I like the way you said that. Mr. Lacey, same question.
Now I'm gonna have to dive deep back into this conspiracy theory thing. It's designed to be this way once again. They want the women to put on the pants, the men to come out the pants, the women put on the pants. They want the men to put on dresses. And if you're looking, you can see that stuff happening right now in front of our eyes. And then it's a little deeper than that too, than just the traditional roles is what I'm trying to tell you. That it's more than just them flip-flopping the male doing what the female does and the female doing what the male does. It's deeper than that. It's a real live gender switch is what they got going on right now.
Ooh. Bird, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, same question. Do you believe that society has discarded traditional gender roles? Whereas the men were the protectors, providers, leaders, the hunters, and women were the nurturers, caregivers.
I believe it has been, I don't know what word I can use to appropriate it, but I do believe it has been altered to where it has become more, that old traditional was more, I guess, shit, I'm not even sure how to say it. Let's say that old tradition has been reformed because it was made more of women becoming more equal to men, where they can go out and work and they can assist in providing. So it was those roles, I don't want to say were kicked out of the game, but they were reformed to allow women to be more of a powerful role other than just staying home and cooking and cleaning and having babies. So it was evolution that created that change in the old tradition of the man is the winner, and the woman is going to cook up the eggs in the pan and stay home and raise kids and do all of that. So it has been pushed aside and reformed.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Sean, you still with us?
Yes, I can piggyback with agree rather with what Bird just said. And yeah, I can't say it no better than that. This has been in the making with all the different groups and organizations that are all looking for equal, if not better rights than the next. So that's how I believe this all came about.
Now, I told you I was coming back to this, right?
Well, can I add something to that? Because
Go ahead.
Because I mean, we all want to be created equal, but I think what I'm gonna pick it back off of something that Bird said when he said that evolution.
Mhm.
So in the roles. So yes, there has been an evolution in the roles because the women were staying at home, they were the homemaker, and the men were going to work. But when we went to war, and all the men had to go to war, and the women had to stay home, they had to keep the home and go to work to keep the country running.
Now,
So I want to add that bit to it because that's where it really starts to shift. You know what?
And because of that, here you go. You have the women. Now I'm gonna say this, and I don't want not one of you women to take offense to what I'm about to say. See, y'all want it to be equal, right? You got your sistering, your sisterhood, your peers. Some of them, the feminist movement, they were screaming, anything the man can do, the woman can do better. They're equal to them. They can do that too. They can bring home the bacon and they can fry it up and make sure everybody eats. They don't need a man for nothing, right? So now you have the situation where you are in a position where you have to assume all responsibility, because when you was in a union, when you was in a relationship and you guys was doing it together, you allow society and some of them stone-faced women that y'all took the lead from, followed their lead, and you let them basically create these situations for you let me finish.
Okay.
Where you are now labeled a single mother. However, y'all always neglect to see the other side of the coin. If you're in a union and you decide that this no longer works for you, now that means it no longer works for the man too, by default, because you decide you don't want to do it no more. So guess what happens? You're not a union no more. Y'all are individuals. Y'all have to do it alone. So the same things that you have to do in your home, that man has to do too when he has those children in his home. Now, am I right or am I wrong, Tanya?
You coming to me first.
Yeah.
I think that was a blanket statement that you just made right there, talking about in the union, that we was in a union and we decided to leave, and negating the fact of all the problems that could have been in the union that caused the person to want to leave.
I'm not talking about all the factors that led up to it. I'm talking about the end
Come on,
result
Tanya.
where the woman decided that she can do bad all by herself. But that's another show. So let's not even go there. Trust me.
Yeah, let's not.
It's on the calendar. It's on the calendar. But do you think because of that, can you guys give the man some grace? Because again, we go back to, they say, but a woman has to be both mom and dad, because she has to perform and fulfill the role of both the male responsibilities and the female responsibilities.
But David,
grace?
hold on, David. You said that when the woman decides to leave, what happens when the man decides
to the man,
leave?
right?
He's at. Okay, let me be clear about this, because I was going back to where the woman says that she has to be both mom and dad. I was saying that based upon most of the time when that happens, that woman has decided that she no longer wants to deal with that man for whatever reason. Now let me be clear about this. If you watch my live,
can't she be just fed up with it?
Let me finish, Timmy. If you
It's
watch
not about just being fed up,
if,
Timmy. It's about how he's putting it, because
if
sometimes
you watch my live, if you watch my live earlier,
right, but
I tore
you
into
do get
the
fed up, Tanya, after all the nonsense, the arguing, the bickering. I'm gonna do better. You just be like, fuck it. You know.
So that y'all don't take this somewhere else. Let's bring it
okay.
back. So what
Let's
I'm
get
saying
back.
is, can you give the men grace? Because they, in a lot of situations, these men have to perform double duty as well. And I don't even think it's double duty, as someone said. It is just what the situation calls for. Dad has to cook, dad has to clean, dad has to nurture, dad has to do homework, dad has to bring here, dad has to do all those things that, again, would be traditional female duties,
roles.
gender roles, right? But because there's been, as y'all said, the evolution, and somebody took the book, tore it up, and threw it in the trash and set fire to it, along with the bras and things like that. This is what you now have to deal with. So when the guy says a woman can't teach a boy to be a man, and the first line of defense is, well, a single woman has to be mom and dad. That is kind of, it doesn't, you ain't got no ground to stand on, in a sense. That's what I'm referring to.
You need to say some women don't
women.
have a ground to stand on.
Some women. All right, Timmy, because
you have more women that are subjected to being both, because you have a handful of dudes that are being both, but it's more predominantly women that are doing both, being father and, being the provider, the protector, the nurturer, the cooker, the cleaner, the making
I think
sure
that's about
everything is right.
It's becoming to be a little more equal now, Timmy.
That's what I was trying to tell you. There you go. Now you done said it. It's
it is, but
testosterone and estrogen levels.
It's still more women doing it than men.
According to who?
It is, Dave.
According to who?
The stats show that
find me some stats. Find me some stats.
There's more single women playing both roles than there are fathers playing both roles.
All right, let's ask the panel. Let's get in on this conversation. Maria, you still with us?
Yeah.
Do you believe that is so? What Timmy said, that there's more women that are performing double duty as opposed to men?
These days, I don't think so.
Okay, that's one. She says she don't think so. Gregory, do you believe that there's more women performing double duty as opposed to men?
I believe the times are changing.
Martin, can you say that again?
That times have changed.
He got cut
I
off.
said I believe the times are changing,
Times
sir.
has changed.
That's it? All right,
Yeah.
Sean, Timmy, let them answer, please. Sean, do you believe that more women are pulling double duty as opposed to men?
No, I'm gonna go with the panel on this one. I think it's times is changing. It's to be neck and neck.
Okay, so that's equal. Bird, same question. Do you believe that women are performing, there's more women performing double duty as opposed to men?
Absolutely. I believe there are more women out there that are left with the unfortunate task to raise young men on their own and, try to maneuver both roles into the game. I mean, the success
Bring
rate
it
is
on.
low. The success
Bring it
rate
on,
is
Bird.
low
Bring
of many boys being raised in a single parent home. The success rate of the men are very low, but there are many women out there striving to succeed and prepare boys for manhood than there are men taking on the dual role of both parents. And I don't believe men can do it as good as women because there's so many more women out here doing this job that some of these towns walk away from. So I don't believe some of us men could take on that role successfully in the same way that the women are maneuvering our young future.
Okay, all right.
And that's more of a praise to the women out here that are out here doing this because there's a lot of
Well, I
cowards.
looked it up. It's right. It's 80% more single women.
Could
and 20%
That's what I
Hold
Maria.
on. Maria's trying to give you stats. Let her whistle.
That's what I
We're gonna go
said.
to Robert.
It said it's 80% more single women, mothers, and 20% dads.
I know that.
now
I know
the
that.
stats the same thing I was about to tell y'all. Stats prove that there's more women today that is playing a dual role. Although there's more two parents in the household, the woman is still picking up the slack of the man.
Well, I think those in those situations, let me stay right there with you, Robert. In those situations where there's a man and a woman in the home, and that woman is still doing 75 to his 25, I think they need to have a conversation. I think a conversation is needed. Kiana, what do you think? I mean, even though they just gave you the stats, what do you
I was going to agree with Bird before the stats that even knowing some young females who are being the head of household, I know it's more women than men playing the role as head of house.
I know that too. That's why I said it. I ain't even have to look at no damn stats because I know it to be true.
All right, so let me stay right there, Timmy. Now, so let me give y'all a little fun fact, in observance of the Women's History Month. Shout out to Shirley Chisholm. She is the first Black woman to ever run for the U.S. presidency. So shout out to her, round of applause to her. She ran for office in 1972. All right, now let me give y'all some information.
Reagan is the president. I voted for Shirley Chisholm.
Did you know that these are some of the harmful effects to boys that are raised solely by women? There is an absence of male role modeling. This is what happens. These young men have not only identity but gender identity issues. You know, they're not certain about their sexuality. They have nobody to basically model the behavior for them because there is no male present. So that's what happens. So a lot of these young men are aggressive. A lot of them drop out from school by the age of 16. A lot of them run away or get kicked out of their houses. And
Baby.
they usually have children at a very young age, which they leave without any direction. These young men also are subjected to sexual transmitted diseases. Yeah, and a lot of them are incarcerated due to their aggressive behavior. So that's just some facts that women need to know. And I'm not talking about all women. Let's be clear about it. So for the vindictive woman that decides one day she doesn't want to deal with the man no more for whatever issue, and now she wants to spite the father. She's spiting the child because now she removes that father from the child's life altogether. Now, I'm not talking about, let me be clear about this. I am not talking about these nans, these no account nitwits or knockers or ninjas that decide they don't want to have nothing to do with their kids because the woman don't want nothing to do with them. I'm not talking about those individuals because they're a whole nother subject. I'm talking about the situations where the woman decides it's over, the relationship is over, and so is any other relationship that extends from the initial relationship, meaning her and him. So now the child suffers, he no longer has any male representation because not only has she cut that man off, she's cut all the men off that is associated with him, meaning her baby daddies or ex-husband's father, his brothers, the grandfather, friends, godfathers, they're all now out the picture. She's mad at all men. And it may be a situation where
Mad at her daddy too.
yeah, I said that. And she's not in a situation, she does not have a good relationship, as someone just said, with her own father, let alone the males in her family. So now that boy is without any male modeling. Gina, you want to speak on that?
Can I interject for a minute because I feel like those statistics, because I'm pretty sure they're mostly rooted in the Black community,
Yes.
that those are askew because Black males are accused of being more aggressive versus a white male counterpart who would be considered a boy. He's considered a young man already, and he's 6 years old. So I feel like some of these statistics play into the
environmental factors, the legal
into
factors.
the pipeline to jailhouse, that whole structure. So I just want to make that be heard in that context. Thank you.
Thank you. And Gianna, stay right there because we coming right back to you after Gina.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gina.
No. Come back to me. I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of something. Come back to
All
me.
right, so we'll stay with Kiana. Kiana, go ahead, answer that question. So you started answering. You think those stats are biased?
Absolutely, 100%. All stats are biased when it comes to the Black community. But go ahead.
So same thing. So we go back to they saying those are some of the harmful effects. So do you think that the women? Let me ask y'all this way, women, how do you feel? Because I want to make sure y'all are holding your peers accountable for their behavior. How do you feel about the women that decided because the relationship did not work with the father, they're now going to make this child fatherless?
I don't know any of my friends who were quote unquote single mothers to have done that. More so, they were almost begging for him to be in the relationship with the kid, and they were either I'll do it when I feel like it. Oh, I can't be with you, so I don't want nothing to do with you and your kid. So I don't. So yeah, that
Women that do that is bitter. Women that purposely don't want their kids' father in their lives and hinder them from having a relationship. That would be just bitterness. And she probably just suffers from a lot of trauma in her life. Not to say that's right, but I would never do that. My son's son's father has all the room to be what type of father that he wants to be. But I will not hold your hand. I'm not going to hold your hand and walk you through fatherhood. That's not my job.
Okay, Kiana.
I was gonna say what Gina said is probably true. The only way I would give a female, that thing is if there was abuse in the relationship. If he was abusing me, which means that he could be abusing my children, then I don't see them having a relationship without supervision. Other than that, I really don't feel that you should. I feel no child should be used as a pawn in anybody's relationship.
Yeah,
Because if you should be mature enough to put your feelings aside for the mental and physical development of your child to be first, not you, your kid. And that's another reason that too many people are having children young, so they're not mature enough to do that. So there's another strike against that too.
Okay. That's a grown, that's a mature perspective outlook on things. I like that. And again, for all you nans that decided that you didn't want to step up to the plate, I encourage some men to step up and fill the void. Because there are some men out there are readily available to step in where the other person's individuals have decided to be unavailable. Patsy,
and also men, don't be so quick to give up. Fight, because there's programs out here that can help you get where you need to be in your kid's life. Don't settle for what she said, because you have rights just as well as she do. So don't ever let no woman tell you you ain't got rights to your kid, because you do just as well as she do, and you have to fight just like if it was the shoe on the other foot, she has to fight. So don't give up. Make sure you can get in different programs. There's programs out here that help men fight for their kids to get in their kids' life. That's what we have to do more of.
All right. Touchy subject. Patsy, let's come back to you. How do you feel about women that decide that they want to remove a father figure from their son's life, knowing that this is going to basically be detrimental to the child's developmental growth?
I think it's sad if you'd actually do that as a woman, but I've never seen an actual woman do that. Not even like in my mother's own situation. Even some of my friends that are single parents, it's more the guy that never stood up to the plate than there was like domestic violence in the situation. When it came down to it. So, but that didn't mean that they outright denied any men in the child's life whatsoever. It's just given the situation you actually had with the father in the first place, to why that particular man is not in the child's life or children's life.
Mm.
So it then depends on the situation. If y'all split up and it was inevitable that y'all split up because of the marriage or the relationship didn't work out, and you come to an agreement in one way or another, where like you kind of had split custody or shared custody or whatever, and the father was still in the child's life, you just had an arrangement for that. That's all well and good, but when it's not a good split up and the reasons behind the split up was not a good situation where the man was should be in the kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that man should not be there.
All right. Tanya, I'm gonna give you a chance to go on and jump in and answer that question.
I don't know who it was that said that if any woman does that, she's bitter and she's had trauma in her.
Gina.
Yeah.
That's all you have to add?
That's what I got to say, because it's just trifling. It has to do with something about, like I said, she had trauma and she's bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know of any other one. I know of one woman that's done that. Any other woman they want the father to be in the child's life.
So I asked y'all initially, do you hold those type of women accountable? Did you knew of her? Did you call her on her behavior?
All the time.
Okay. All right. That's what we need. That's what we need. Maria?
So I agree that when girls do that, the relationship broke up, either, him not wanting to be with her, so she's bitter. I also believe that if they grew up without a father or they mothers like that, it's easier for them to push their kid's father out of their child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I was a young mother, and I can't agree to that. It's just young girls doing that, because I never did that to my son's father.
Right.
And I don't know girls that's like that, but I do know guys who went through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's open up to the men. Sean, how you feel about that situation when you have women, the relationship is failed, but now they don't want the father to have any relationship with their children, most of all their sons. I mean, knowing that this is going to be detrimental to their son, they still decide that the son is better off without the male influence, most of all the father.
With an exception to any type of abuse or misconduct to the family structure, I think is selfish, it's immature, and it's foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't heard nobody but the kid.
And I will say this, just to be fair for the ladies that had to undergo that, endure that mistreatment on any level, those men that was abusive, yeah, you gotta go and get yourself together, bro, so that you could be better for your child. And if you got a problem with disrespecting women, then you need to definitely get some help with that, because as long as you live in this world, you're gonna encounter some women. And probably you need to go have a conversation with your mama, because that's probably where it stems from. You ain't get along with her, so that's why you don't know how to behave with other women. All right, let's go on to Gregory. Gregory, how you feel about the woman that decides that she is going to remove you from your son's life, knowing that it's detrimental to that child's developmental growth?
I'm gonna tie in your statistics with it too, because Margaret Sanger, a profound feminist and the mother of eugenics, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I was saying earlier about the men coming out the pants and the women putting on the pants and becoming a father in the household, and they want the men to put on the dresses. And you know how you were saying they're not sure of their sexuality and stuff, and then these men end up going to jail and all this other sexual stuff. You said they want the women to become the men, and then they want to take the children from the women and put them in the system because they feel like the system raised the kid. This is all out of the eugenics handbook. And for some reason we done played into this hand. And I can agree with you when you're saying that there should be some accountability, because right now you can see it. They got songs out, "Fuck My Baby Daddy," and these girls are kind of crazy. I've seen girls say, "Yeah, your father ain't shit," and that's why I put them on child support. So I know this stuff goes on. So it does need to be some type of accountability for these people. And like y'all said, they could be traumatized from them growing up with their mother and their mother being like that. And it's just a long passed down traumatized history. It isn't like we're coming out of slavery from thousands of years ago. This just happened. We're still fresh into society, trying to be in the society with the other people.
Also, I just want to just say something after what Cuz just said.
Go ahead.
He said, the moms, their moms probably went through, some stuff, so that's probably like that. I'll be honest with you. My mother raised all 5 of her kids by herself. She did have someone, but she, for the most part, raised us all on her own. And she's independent my whole life. So to be honest with you, like, I wish that things were different between me and my son's father, but the fact that they didn't, I wasn't really that pressed about it, because I've seen my mother do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm not gonna chase you to make to have a quote unquote happy home where both the parents in the child's life. Do I want that? Did I want that at the time? Absolutely. But I'm not gonna sit up here and continue to be disrespected, cheated on, and just because, so my son can have both his parents in his life. That's what I wasn't going to accept.
Oh, no.
But that doesn't excuse him from being a father. Whether he's with you or not.
But it does because I don't want to be because I don't want to be with him. He takes that out on my son.
He got to get himself together.
Well, I'll tell you,
as an individual.
I'll tell you, the karma will play. His life will never become shit. I can guarantee that. So the
Not
more
until he goes sit down and
hold
get that.
Hold on. Let Bird finish saying what he's saying, Gregory.
That man that decided to make this choice because he couldn't be with you, I can guarantee you, his life will never amount to shit. Success will never knock on his door because of the way karma's gonna play him out. So he loses on so many levels, not just to become, your child is the building blocks to our future. And that'll affect him later down the line as well. So so it's unfortunate that we have people that are out here like that, but his life will never become some shit.
What Cuz just said, like,
something great.
I'm not gonna
something great.
Because my son is
wanting to have his hand out when he did something great in life. He gonna want to be, oh, that's my son.
But going off of what Gregory said, like, there is some truth to what you said, because I'm not going to, because my mother has raised all of us by herself. I'm not about to sit up here and chase after nobody. I'm just because my mother did it, my grandmother did it.
No, I understand that.
You know?
I just feel like for some reason we fell into that eugenics handbook, and this is stuff that they had written for us, and the outcome is what they wanted.
Can I say something to you, Gina, and all the other women? And before I do, let me be fair about this, because I stated something regarding the men that have issues with their with women. They probably need to there's no probably about it. They need to go seek some help, some therapy, and they need to have a conversation with their mama, because that's where it stems from. I say the same thing about the women that have issues with guys. You need to go seek some therapy, and then have a conversation with the father that wronged you, because that's where it stems from. And I'm speaking I'm generally stating But
And
we go back to
unfortunately,
saying, hold on, let me. So what I was going to also say is, and I got to go to Rob because I know he's been waiting patiently. That you guys got to understand this too. Just because mommy, grandma, great grandma did it a certain way, don't mean that you have to follow suit. Because again, I'm apologize first as a man for all the failed male representation, especially where my family is concerned, because it's great. And Gina, I've said this to you before, darling. You don't have to go nothing alone because there are a whole bunch of ready, willing, available men to step up and provide male representation, positive male representation for yours. All you have to do is just ask. That's all you have to do. Now let me go to Robbie because I know he's been waiting. Robbie, how do you feel about these women that decide that there is not no need for a father in their child's life once their union expires? It fails, meaning the man and the woman.
I'm gonna say this to the women, not just on the panel, the women period in the world. When you do such a thing, because it's like a selfish act, you're only messing with your child or children's mental health, and you're taking a chance to never let them let's see, you're messing with their personality developments. So those are two things that were put you in a place of why is my son or my daughter is acting like this? Why did they change their gender? Why they're in so much crime? Why they're finding themselves as a victim? Because you never gave them a fair shot. You made the decisions for them based upon your unhappiness with their father.
Mm-hmm. So stay right there, Robbie touched something, and I want to ask you, you ladies, how you feel about it. So there's been conversation that a lot of the men that have been removed from their sons' lives due to the mother's disdain for them, and then their child starts having gender identity crisis, that's why the child is uncertain as to what gender they are, because again there is no consistent male representation in their life, and the only representation they have is a female representation. So that's the only behavior that's being modeled to them. So this is the reason why the child now is it migrates, it gravitates, excuse me, to the female behavior. Do you let me go to the guys first, and then I'll go to the women. Sean, do you believe that there's some truth in this?
Sorry, I'm here. To the thing that you just said
Yes.
about, yeah, I do. I think, I'll take it a little further and say, um, instead of just having a male model, like they fail to have a positive male model in their lives, and that plays a major part. Because just to go ahead.
No, because go on. You're gonna probably lead into it. Go ahead.
Because just to have, I think one of the best things that a single mom can do for their child, um, in spite of that male, meaning the father, acting like a butthole and not wanting to be in the child's life because he may have an issue with you, still try to um still try to make it seem like there's an effort being put on your part in front of that child to show that you are trying to, you know, and encourage a relationship with the father.
Mhm. And the other part about it, where the other part of the question is, do you believe that an absentee father contributes to the gender identity crisis of a young boy, where
Um,
he only has female representation?
I do, and that's because that's what I mean by a positive role model. But when he only has a female, when he's constantly around females, it's not
Mhm.
that he wants to be a female. Those are just the characteristics that he takes on because that's what he's grown to be accustomed to.
Okay. Robert, same question.
Well, I believe if it's two women living in a home in a relationship, that can be damaging to a boy child, depending on if he wants to be a young boy still, because some of them making choices at a young age. But I'm just gonna say if it's two female parents or adults in there kissing, hugging, holding hands, laying in the bed together, laying on each other, watching movies, sitting on each other's laps at the dinner table. That definitely can change the complexion of his direction, if you understand what I mean.
Yes.
All right, Gregory, go ahead.
I agree with both Sean and Uncle Rob. You need positive male figures, and sometimes you might need negative male figures so you can know not what to be. You can get the good and the bad. And like Uncle Rob was saying, I think it's a parenting thing too with the last part. If you're allowing your kid to be confused about their gender, I think you're doing that as a parent and you're not correcting them. You're not telling them, hey, that's for boys and this is for girls. That's something that you're doing.
Okay. Bert, how you feel about that?
Um, I don't want to say the lack of a male in the home is the major cause of gender identity or crisis or whatever you want to call it, because there are some truths to you were kind of born into it. You weren't
Right.
really influenced by it. So there are many cases where gender differences have occurred because some people have always wanted to wear a dress, so they've always wanted
Your
to
phone's muffled a little bit, big dog.
they've always wanted to put dolls and wear dresses, and they felt like they were a girl in a boy's body. So I don't want to say that is entirely true. Is it a factor? I don't even want to say just because there's one parent. I think one of the big contributor factors is the peer, and we're learning about gender in school that we didn't learn about homosexuality and gender identity. You didn't know none of that. You were a boy, you were a girl. You
Because
didn't
it's
really
made up.
you
It's
weren't
all
given
made
that
up.
option to choose what you want to be or to think what you want to be, or it's more fun to wear a dress than it does a pair of pants, and it is your right. I think this is being educated to our up and coming future, more or less, not to say that because there's not a man in the house, the higher percentage of homosexuality or gender identification is a factor. I don't buy that.
Okay. All right.
I
See?
think I think I think it goes deeper than that, because when I was growing up, I watched a lot of black uh, comedy comedians that was on TV dressed up as women, you know, and so you know at this time that was something to be funny to do that, but who a lot of those dudes that dressed up as women were comfortable as dressing up as a woman, right? And so, like Bird said, it comes from at birth, you know, you as an individual might feel that I'm not supposed to be a girl. I'm supposed to be a man. Or the dude saying he knew from when he was a kid that he was supposed to be something else. But people, the older elders were telling him, no,
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
you're not right. You're not that. That's not what the Bible says. They started quoting scriptures and all that, right?
Mm.
To make that person feel guilty of who they are inside, which is messed up.
Let's bring it back to what we're talking about. So you believe it has nothing to do with the absence of a father in the home? You feel like that has no bearing on these young boys' gender identity crisis?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
stand
I don't
on
believe
that.
that.
Stand on that. I want to get the ladies' opinions, and then Gregory, we're going to go to that video about modeling. After I go to the ladies, let's go to Tanya first. Tanya, you still with us?
I think she's on mute.
Maria, are you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, Maria, do you think that an absentee father contributes? So this is the conversation, the mutterings that an absentee father contributes to a young boy's gender identity crisis.
No, I don't totally agree with that. There is, you might have some issues of, I want to say your sexuality. I don't agree that it messed with your sexuality. You might be having a problem with identifying who you are because you don't understand why that man is not in your life. But when it comes to sexuality, I don't think so. There's plenty of boys that was raised by just the grandmother and the mother, and they more men than some men who was raised by their mother and father.
All right, that's the way to set the record straight.
I'm
Also,
sorry, I kicked myself out.
No
also,
worries,
I think that some of these kids, they be introduced to that life too young.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes them not to develop their own idea of who they want to be when they grow up, because they see it on TV. They see their cousins.
Right.
The
Exactly, auntie.
Doing that, whatever. Not also mention that some of these boys been raped, and that's why they get
exactly.
Exactly. All right.
They thinking that
hold on, Timmy. Timmy,
I'm
hold on.
I'm agreeing with what Maria said, because it's a lot of different factors. Some of what she said, they've been raped, they been introduced to it early on in age. They watching videos and stuff that they shouldn't be having their hands on to.
Okay. Patsy, how you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with the ladies. Like, it depends on the situation, and I don't think like not having a complete male role model in a boy's life actually has a full effect. They might have the personality traits and confusing as who you are as a boy growing into a man. And just wonder why does my dad not want me, and just be angry and upset and confused about that, and the father rejecting them. But as far as like the sexuality, that's like a different factor in altogether.
Okay. Gina, how you feel about it? Do you feel like do you buy into these mutterings, these conversations about an absentee father contributes to it's detrimental to the young boy because it presents identity gender crises?
I don't, sorry, I don't think that, no, I don't agree with that. I think that in certain cases it might, but not in all cases. Um, I think that's like you can say, oh, well, because his father's not in his life, he became a drug dealer. I
Mhm.
mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that, it could
That
happen.
could
If
be
the streets got you, the streets got you. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't think that that's 100% true. I think different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? In some cases that might be the reason, but in other cases that might not be the reason.
Okay. Kiana? Duchess?
Yes, I heard you. Excuse me. No, I don't agree with that. I think that there's a lot of factors that play into that. And let's just not take this, let's even go back a couple of like 10 years where it wasn't so prevalent on TV and all this other stuff. There again, there's other factors. Now it's everywhere. But even before, I don't believe that single mothers raising sons have have anything to do with their sexuality unless they're either sexualizing their kid with some man or by some man that she's now involved with, or trying to mold him or her into something else. So I think there's other factors, and I don't believe that single parenthood has anything to do with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, I agree to a certain extent with I think that the child, the young boy, will be more exposed to certain things, when there's a lack of, male, presence or male, role modeling. Because again, like I said before, the only thing that the child has to associate with is, the female. So they don't have any representation of what a male is, or how a male is supposed to behave and stuff like that. Because if this mother has cut off all ties with all male influence and stuff like that. Now, again, I'm gonna say it. If the father is poor representation for males, then there has to be somebody else that can be a positive male role modeling. Let's go to a video. This is probably gonna be our last video of the night. Gregory, pick one, pick a good one. Let me beat it.
So YouTube comedian Charleston White caused backlash on social media after he said that single moms can't raise men. Take a quick look at this clip.
People think, now mother's love is not sufficient. He have to have some type of male love, and it has to be consistent. Without that balance, mothers ruin boys. You love on them too long, you ruin them.
Now, as you can imagine, that caused quite a stir on social media, with a lot of single moms getting offended by the comment, it seems. But I kind of agree with what he said.
It doesn't determine the success of the child. Because you
Right.
can have children also who are raised with both parents in the home, right? And they still have challenges in this
Right.
world.
A lot of single mothers out there that don't have help.
Right,
that
right, right,
don't
right,
have the
right.
support. You can't teach them to be a man, but you can teach them how to conduct themselves.
All right, hold on one second. Gregory, we got one more video too, right?
Yes, sir. I was about to.
Yeah, show the other video, show the last video. Hold tight, everyone.
Zoom meeting.
White caused
the optimal conditions at that point with just a mother in the picture is to have a group of male models, whether it be she has brothers, if her dad is still alive and still kicking, you know, or uncles or coaches. Coaches also help a lot from an early age. Just having a positive male role model and role models around your child, especially when you have a boy, because The boys, for guys, it's a monkey see, monkey do thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All babies obviously is they'll see the adult do something and they'll try and do whatever the adult does.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
For an 11 race parade.
Stop right there. And so let me just say this too, in regards to those videos and stuff like that, especially the last one. So I'm gonna use another analogy, metaphor. So again, you guys often hear people say children are like sponges. They absorb everything around them, but they also observe everything around them as well. So they
That's how you learn.
they listen and they take in everything that they hear. So again, if
That's
all
how you learn the bad and the good.
if all I see is females around me and they're behaving a certain way, well, chances are my behavior is going to be similar to theirs. And let me be clear about this, guys. This is going to be your final say on this matter. So I'm gonna go to each person and I'm gonna let you have your final say. So again, according to the video, they say that all it requires is some modeling, some male modeling, and also they say women, y'all could be detrimental because you're coddlers. I'm paraphrasing. And I just want to know if you agree with the video and where would you refer these individuals to get modeling, role modeling, a mentor of some of sorts. Timmy, you first. Did you agree with any of the videos?
I agree with both of the videos, and of course, with I kind of agree with Charleston, like you said, because you know the women who, like he said, loving on, they got their titty in his mouth. He so fucking drunk off for the damn titty milk that he don't know which way he going. So if she cut him off, cause at a certain time you cut your kids off the titty, right? When they say the young boy is on the mother's titty still, is because they feel like she's running to his rescue everything, far as what trouble he get into, or she jump into altercation, all that. So they saying that she's not letting him be a man. She's always there to his rescue and bail him out, and he don't never learn how to get out of things on his own. Coming of age, sort of.
Okay. Thank you. So that's Timmy's say for tonight. So again, before I let you mute yourself, who would you refer these children, these fatherless children, these children don't have any male role modeling? Who would you suggest that they turn to? What would be your referral?
Well, you got relatives. If you can't depend on your relatives, then you got brothers. If you ain't got those, then you go outside your family, the programs. I was just watching the news today on May 16th. They got mental health awareness day. So, if you can't get it, because that's why they create a lot of programs for that reason. So if you can't get it at home, then there's these programs that you can go to. But a lot of people got pride, so a lot of people feel like they don't want people up in their business, their personal business. So they won't take that help that is available because they got pride.
All right, so we're gonna hope that everybody put their pride aside and they're gonna take what you said, they're gonna implement that into their way of thinking. All right, thank you. Patsy, you're up next. Did you agree with any of the videos? And if so, and what would be your referral for children, for young boys and single moms that have no fathers in their sons' lives and lack male representation, positive male role modeling?
I do agree somewhat to that on those videos. But I have seen like other in my own situation with my mom with my brother, like she tried to have positive things, male role models for him, you know, but there's always ways to get around that if you can't find those male role models and you find a situation where your mother has it, you find a trusted family member or a trusted person at school or a neighbor or yeah, just ask, at school, like whatever programs or whatever that your mother has got you in, just try to figure out who you can trust and confide in and get help in that situation, in those scenarios.
Okay.
But there's always someone out there that you got to figure it out, just try to look and talk to different people.
All right, well said, thank you. Sean, you're up.
Yeah, I agree with it a little bit. Definitely what the majority of the panel says, that if you don't have any uh male role models around, like get beyond yourself and really get out there and try to find some positive organizations or family members or whatever, just to help you in your village.
Quick question, Sean, before I let you go. Does the church offer mentorship?
Of course they do.
Timmy.
At the present moment, they do, but at the present moment, the individual that was over it is not available at the moment.
Okay, but we do have able bodies that will
Yes.
step up to the plate and offer assistance.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so there you have it, people. The church is an option. They do offer mentorships, peer mentors. Next up, we got Maria. Maria, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, so let's get your final thoughts. And Maria, please, before you even do that, can you tell everybody about your brand real quick? We're talking about supporting
Our sisters.
women.
I had my shirt on yesterday.
Maria, can you tell everybody about your brand?
Yes, it's Support Our Sisters. You can find it at employingplus.org. Also with Ladies First AOP and Youth Serum and a Dapper Pouch.
Still a man.
And still a man.
And still a man.
All right, so the reason why I asked Maria to do that before I got her final words is because so again, you can find SOS Support Our Sisters at Emporium Plus and other brands such as Youth Serum, Adaptive Parish, Ladies First, Still a Man, and Envy Forever. I believe that's all of them. And of course, items with emporiumplus.org on it as well. And the reason why I asked her to do that, because I think it's important that all of us support the women no matter what they're going through, because they do require our support. And that's the reason why most of these women feel like they have to go it alone because there is no support. But I just want to let you know that the Still a Man platform does support all women, and we do so in forms of conversations like this and brands that you can find in our online store. All right, Maria, go ahead.
Men and women. Still a man support men and women.
But Timmy, you supposed to be on mute.
Mute, yes.
Support our sisters, the brand, buddy.
Maria,
don't forget the men.
Timmy, Maria, go ahead. You got the floor. Did you agree with any of those videos? And did you do you have any referrals for women that are lacking let's say positive male role modeling for their sons?
So yeah and no, I agree with somewhat of what they were saying on the video. I think that there's always support if you reach out or you utilize your family and friends. For women and men, if you do not have the support of a mother or a father, there's always an uncle or grandparent or a close friend to the family that will show that type of support of a man or a woman to your child.
Okay, I like it. Well said, well said. Let's go to another one of the men on the panel. G. Lacey, can we get your final words, please? How'd you feel about the video, and do you have any referrals for the young men that are lacking positive male role modeling?
I agree with the videos. I think you should read a book, try to find a character that you like, try to be a person, create your own character. Go to a counselor, go to your guidance counselor, go to your therapist. Definitely don't trust your coach, and I wouldn't agree with that part of the video because I seen a lot of people going through grooming things. And I just watched a movie with a girl get kidnapped by her teacher, so don't go confining in people too much. But definitely try to find somebody in your inner circle, a positive role model, somebody that you look up to.
Okay, well said.
And that's why women don't venture out and try to find, well, single moms don't venture out and try to find, help on the outside because of what you just said.
But let's stay with you, Gina. Did you agree with any parts of the video? And
I agree with everything that they said. Yes, I will nurture the hell out of my son, probably to a point where it's not healthy for him. But I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just doing what I was made to do.
But you
Go
have
ahead, I'm sorry.
learned that you have options though, right?
Right. I have learned that I have options. I have learned that my son needs a male figure in his life. His dad is in his life, but he's only in his life every other weekend. So I don't know how I mean he's there. He has my brother, he has my nephews. I have 3 older nephews. So he has a male figures in his life, which I think is, very important because I will coddle him. And I don't want him to be no mama's boy. Mm-mm.
But you know what? Here's the thing about it. You realize that, there are some changes that you can make. They're not going to be overnight, and you're not making excuses because you don't have to apologize for being a nurturer because that's who you are. You are your son's first example of what a woman is supposed to be, and that's what you're supposed to do. But the males around you, including his daddy, is his first example as to what a man is supposed to be.
Right.
Let's go to Robert next.
What's his name? Charles White or whatever his name was. To the first part, he said, I'm gonna sum all of this stuff. He said that a woman or a mother can love on their child extremely a little bit too much. I'm going to tell you there's a thin line between that. Because if a woman do not show her son enough love, there can be a decided factor how he deals with his lady in life. Meaning she can show him enough, and that's a good positive. She don't show him enough is a bad thing, because now if he's lacking the love he requires from mom because she's worried about making him into a sissy boy, he might treat all women like shit because he didn't get enough love from mom and he don't know how to treat a lady now. Could a woman teach a boy how to be a man? Or like I said earlier, she can show him the qualities, see some qualities, like she can teach him how to conduct himself like a young man. So I believe in that part when the lady said that, because I agree I agree totally with the women said in that first video. The second video, it was based on what they see, monkey do. I believe in that too. Like I said earlier, if your child's in your home and they see you living a lesbian life or vice versa, man on man,
That's one confused
these are the
puppy.
first signs of what they're seeing how to have a relationship when they get older. Should it be me as a boy with a man because my dad is living with a man and I'm in the home with them and this is all I see how a man and man's relationship is, or vice versa, a woman and woman's relationship is. So yeah, monkey see, monkey do. In some cases, I believe that to be definitely true.
Okay.
To,
Nice little rhyme. Nice little rhyme. I caught that. All right, Duchess, you
so
ready?
wait a minute, hold on.
Okay,
To
hold on.
to all the families out here, especially the children and moms, if there's not a father in the home, the mother should do serious research on any organization that is providing father or big brother sponsors. She needs to really check them out because there are some good ones and there are some sick people working for the good ones. So you have to really check the individual's background before you turn your child over to those services, because you're dependent on them to fill in the blanks where there is no father, to show them the way of being that man you hoping they can become. Another thing is if you can't find it in organizations, your son has best friends that has wonderful fathers that treat their kid and teach them the most righteous and proper way of being a man. So you if you know that to be true and that father is willing to step in as a substitute dad or a father figure or a big brother, mentor, whatever it is, allow your son to spend some time with his best friend and their father, mean on outings and a lot of other things, so they can benefit from that if they can't get it from their uncles, their grandpa, and maybe their older cousins or older brother.
Yep, you adopt a family.
Well said, well said. All right, Duchess, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, your turn.
I partially agree with the video. I disagree. I don't believe that you can love on your kid too much. I think you can stunt them by not giving them discipline, but I don't think that you can love your child too much. There's a big difference. You co-signing dumb stuff with your kid, that is not discipline. That's not even love. So
The video said loving too much.
yes.
It did?
I take highly offense with that.
Oh no, I didn't. I'm not loving on. What I mean by loving on him, like loving on meaning you're coddling him. You're doing too.
My
Doing too
son
much
is
coddling.
31 years old right now. If he was to sit in my lap, I would hug the hell out of him for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
That's just
and there's nothing
that's
wrong
just
with
love.
that.
That's not coddle. When
And
they
if I
say,
could,
"Oh,
I'd probably carry him on my back or whatever, but he's fucking bigger than me, and that's not happening.
Right.
He could
He's
carry me.
supposed
But
to be
do you
coddling you.
understand when and especially in the Black community, they say that you coddle your son way too
Oh,
much?
my husband says that all the time. He says it to this
Okay.
day. Like Timmy said, get off the tit or something like that. I'm like, hey, our
Yeah.
relationship is our relationship. Your relationship is your relationship. Don't
That's
come
what
over
it
here
is.
with ours.
All
So
right. And can you give me some referrals? What would you say? What type of
I mean, I would say this is where we have a breakdown. There's not a lot of godfathers. Why don't you have a godfather for your kid? Somebody who could help them in both physical and spiritual guidance. So look for a godfather. You definitely have to be looking at, because there's, we don't talk about this in the Black community, but there's a lot of raping and of family members, of uncles touching. So I mean, you got to be really
selective
on who you leave your kid entrusted to, but let them always know that there's a signal between us. You just give me the eyebrow and they're dead. So just communicate. Yes, we don't do this, we don't do that, but you're free to share your, like, what you think you can't share with me, which I hope that you can, that you have the relationship that you say, okay, you can share with me. But if you don't, or you feel like you need somebody else, I'm going to show you, you feel comfortable with granddad, uncle, somebody you feel comfortable with to help guide you. And if I feel like that person's not enough, I'm gonna line up 5 more people.
Love it.
Because that's still another job of you as a parent to help guide them into, there may be somebody who helps them from 3 to 5. They're going to need somebody else who helps them from 5 to 12. Like, it always going to need somebody.
Speak on it. Bird, you still with us?
Yeah.
All right, it's your turn.
I don't even remember the video much anymore. I'm a little ADHD, I guess.
You were supposed to go to him first, David.
Exactly.
He told you this
You
last
know,
week.
got that, David.
I know, bad David. Let me
But
burn. So basically,
I'll touch down a bit because just basically what everybody else was mentioning about the video. There is definitely too much. You can love a boy too much as a mother. You are at some point crippling him in this rough, nasty, disgusting world that we're trying to prepare our children for. And as far as mentoring, I would say if you are in a position where you are finding yourself alone raising a boy to be a man, someone mentioned, I heard G talking about a coach, but you should get your kid involved in sports. Where they're with
No, I
other
didn't say
children.
not. I said don't have him as your father figure, or I'm saying
Well,
as
you
the
said
kid
don't
looking
trust
for
the-
guidance. Go to your
you
guidance
said-
counselor. I'm not saying
you
as
said don't
the mother.
trust the
It's cool
coach.
to join a basketball team
hey,
because
Hold on. Where are we at right now? I'm saying you specifically said don't trust the coach. So I'm just kind of elaborating.
I
So
said don't
what I'm
trust
saying,
coaches and teachers like that because they could be into grooming. You definitely gotta check them out.
all right, go ahead, Bird.
you ready?
Yep.
My turn?
Oh,
Yep.
you got the floor.
All right. So again, I would strongly recommend involving your kids in sports where they're learning social interaction with other kids, discipline, structure, team, build, all of this stuff, whether it could be boxing, it could be karate, it could be football, it could be basketball, it could be baseball, it could be t-ball. And then again, I'm going to throw this out there. I'm not a big fan. I was never a big fan, but I am a true believer. If you really want to teach your man to be a man and you're doing it on your own as a woman, promote the military to your child. The military is the most structured environment to promote solid men. Maybe crazy, but solid as shit.
Right.
Do that
You're
basic training any kid that can make it through them 2 weeks of Hell Week basic training, you're a fucking superhero, because not many men can do that. They can be 300 in the class and 100 make it out of there. They
And
will
police
teach you
officers.
honor, dignity, pride, respect, all of this stuff that a man is supposed to teach another man about being a man, because those are some of the attributes that a man is going to live up to growing up, to be full of pride, respect, dignity, honor, everything you're going to be. As a respectful man, they're going to promote that to you. Was I a big fan of it? No. Did I see a result from it? Yes. Do I see many results of people that have gone through the military or decided to have a career in the military have become quite very successful? The good will
Your
outweigh
dad
the
was
bad.
in the military. Your dad was in the
Timmy.
military.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Timmy.
Go ahead, Bert.
I'm saying I have a son that went through the military. I have a father that went through the military. I have a father that fought in the war, and he was an asshole, but he was a stand-up, one of the most stand-up men I ever known in my life. So I do give that. Would I have done it? No. Have I promoted it to all my children? You're going to college or the military. There is no choice. This is the choice. Some went to college, one went to the military. It is a very shaping component into an individual's life. If you are looking for other avenues to help assist this young boy to be a strong, disciplined, honorable man, I'm going to say, and they have military programs, not as an adult to go in the military, but there's like JROTC in school. And they have other programs that groom young men for the military, where they are at a young age, doing, physical training, doing, respectful core, hardcore body stuff, mind training. It's just, it's an outlet. I'm not a big fan of family because, again, many, like Kiana said, many sexual abused children have been abused by a family member. So I'm going to say, yeah, you can do it, but I'm not an advocate for it because everybody can look up the stats. Many people that are sexually abused have happened first by family members, very close to a family. Friends as well, friends of the family members are the worst culprits of many sexually abused kids. So I would recommend sports and military to help build discipline and structure to groom a young boy to be a man.
Okay, well said, well said. All right. Thank you everybody for your opinions. Now I'm gonna ask everybody to mute your phones. Everybody, including my co-host Timmy, mute your phone. All right, so I'm gonna give the final word.
What about my word?
Oh, I'm sorry, T. I thought I came to you.
Yeah,
all right.
Timmy,
Timmy, your phone's supposed to be muted. Go ahead, Tanya.
I agree with some parts of let me just put it this way. This is what I got to say to go towards both videos. We are spirit, so we need to have a relationship with our Heavenly Father who gave us the spirit. Once we have that relationship, He will guide and direct us on loving our children, disciplining our children, leading and guiding them. As far as the second video, you have to be a discerner of spirit. When you got that relationship with the Lord, you can discern the spirit. So I don't care if it's family, friend, foe, teacher, who it is. You got to know what their spirit is about before you take any advice from them or put your child in their hand. And on this note, I'm going to say, Father God, in the name of Jesus, I pray that for those that are listening on this podcast tonight, that you open their eyes to see and their ears to hear, Father. And if they don't know you as their Lord and Savior, Lord, allow those anointed individuals to come into their lives to show them the way and help them along the way with their children. You know the people that they need to be in contact with. You know who are the right people that they put their kids' trust and put their trust in with their kids. Lead them and guide them and direct them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. You know what? And
we're gonna leave it all on that.
You know what?
Nope. I don't agree with it.
Everybody mute your phone real quick. Thank you, Tanya, for that prayer. let me just say this to all the ladies out there, the single moms. If you have been in a position, or you're currently in the position where you are raising your child alone, where there is no male role modeling, no positive male representation in your life, I implore you to seek that that vessel, because you require it. Even though you've been doing it, I don't condemn you. I don't. I commend you. I don't condemn you. I applaud you for your efforts, but ladies, you don't have to go it alone. There are available men in your community, in your village, a part of your village, that will assume the responsibility upon you relinquishing that responsibility. You're going to have to let someone lighten your load. You're going to have to let someone step in and fill that void. The ones that walked out on you, they're gone. Focus on the ones that are still around you and that are offering you assistance. And do not allow your pride and the ones that walked away's pride to hinder or become more detrimental to your son than it already has. They require the parenting, the love, nurturing, the protection, the instruction of both parents, mom and dad. You had that baby together. At some point, you lied down and you both decided this is what y'all was gonna do. You knew there was a possibility of a child when you lied down to have sex. So this is the results of it. So you got 18 years to get it right. And then for all the women that have adult children, now for these children, you now have an option. If your mother decided to keep you away from your father for whatever reason, or your father decided to stay away from you for whatever reason, you now have the choice to have a relationship with your father as an adult. So again, women, I commend you for your services. This has been the Still a Man podcast. Thank you. Good night.